Alright, so I moved from live video to being able to preview it, but the message is the same. We really, I don't know, it's like since 74, I guess 45 years now, I've always turned to meditation as a way to find that fulfillment, find that center that was missing in my life. And it makes sense because our senses are always turned outwardly, and things on the outside are constantly changing. So there's no real solidity there. There's nothing to hold on to. And when I turn inside, the opposite happens. It's always the same thing. I know we tend to enjoy variety, but there are times when having something that doesn't change is an asset, especially if that thing feels good, if that thing is soothing, if that thing is loving. And I can't encourage you enough to take the time to sit there and do no thing. We have this expression, nobody's perfect, and it's true. Nobody is perfect. So when you're able to go beyond your body, you are able to be in a state of perfection. And actually, you're always in a state of perfection. It's just that your focus isn't always there. Most of the time, our focus is on the imperfect, because that's what our environment is, that's what surrounds us, but it's not our nature. And taking the time, allowing ourselves to dig deeper into our nature and experiencing it are really the greatest gifts of being in a human body. Because as I get older, I see that everything else is very ephemeral, it's very temporal. It doesn't last very long. I mean, even food, which I love. I'm such a pig. And I love eating, and I'm a foodie. And yet, I can only eat so much. I know the Romans took it to an absurd state, but that is so counter life. So you don't want to try and derive more pleasure than you should out of these temporal, physical things. You really want your main source of satisfaction to be something eternal, to be something perfect, to be something wholesome. You really want to stay true to your own nature. And the longer you do that, the more appreciation you develop for it. Because at first, when you meditate, you encounter your mind's resistance, like, what are you doing this for? What's the purpose? Why sit here and do no thing? It's like sleeping. You could make that same argument, and some people do. They're saying that really sleeping, that you should be able to do it anytime, just a couple of hours or nap a little bit, and that should take care of you. But if you don't get proper rest, you really can't function at your top. And you just feel off. You feel odd. And as I've come to meditate more and more, that's how it's been for me. That those days when, for whatever reason, I had put off the meditation, I felt out of kilter. I felt like there was something missing in my life. And the days when I really was able to submerge myself in the experience, I felt fulfilled, I felt satisfied, I felt on course, I felt on cue, I felt attuned. So it's a gift that we can give ourselves. And it's odd because it's always there, but we're not. The experience is always there, but we're not always attentive to it. And I think it's such a gift, this whole COVID-19 lockdown, because it's unplugging us from everything else that we've been giving our attention to, and it's giving us a chance to go inside and find out what really is true, what really is beautiful. So I can't encourage you enough to do it. And meditation is not a mystery, it's not something difficult. It's something that's going on all the time. So you just have to decide how much of yourself, of your time, you want to give to it. And don't let anything interrupt you. Just allow yourself that luxury. Let me see if I can turn this thing off. I'm not used to doing this stuff. Here we go. Until the next one.